Now, I'm going to say that the Democrats are using, again, what I would call a scorched earth approach in opposing Republican policies and President-elect Trump. Roll tape.
I am stunned. I am stunned at what happened last month. This government, our government, abandoned our...
I'm sorry, folks. That was the wrong tape. That was Speaker Ryan on the floor of the House, I believe it was yesterday, railing against President Obama's policy on Israel and the vote in the United Nations. Needless to say, Speaker Ryan really opposed that policy. What we do have is Nancy Pelosi, the leader of the minority in the House, that's the Democrats, and Senator Charles Schumer. They're employing, I'm going to call it a scorched earth policy in opposing what Mr. Trump and the Republicans want to do, specifically repealing Obamacare. Come on in, please. The man who opposed Nancy Pelosi for the leadership position of the Democrats in the House. He's got a big smile on his face this morning. His name is Tim Ryan. I'm sorry, I was getting confused with the Ryans there, so I do apologize for that. I'm calling it a scorched earth policy, saying that make America sick again. That seemed pretty extreme to me. You're a middle-of-the-road Democrat. I don't think you're all in favor of what Ms. Pelosi and Senator Schumer are doing, are you?
Well, I mean, you have to look. In the last 6 years, the Republicans, you can't be too outraged here, because in the last 6 years, well, a lot of us were saying we need to fix the problems with the Affordable Care Act. We didn't get any help from the Republicans at all. They wanted to hang it around our neck politically. They did it, and they did obviously a successful job of it because they control all levers of government. So it's not like they were very willing partners. And I'm not into the sloganeering. I'm not into all that stuff. But if you are going to repeal it, you are going to see millions of people in the country right now that have health care that won't have it, that are getting help with prescription drugs.
Is that strictly accurate, Mr. Congressman Ryan? Is that strictly accurate? Do you believe that we're going to have, what, 19 million Americans left high and dry with no coverage? Because that is not going to happen.
Well, that's wishful thinking, but, we had 700,000 people in Ohio alone that benefited from the Medicaid expansion that otherwise wouldn't be able to afford health care, and they have it now, or people that are getting help.
The Republican plan is to use block grants to the states to pay for Medicaid for those people who went on to Medicaid in recent years. They will be taken care of.
We don't know what the Republican plan is. I mean, I'm anxious to see it. I'm just saying, under the current system, if you repeal it lock, stock, and barrel, like every Republican presidential candidate said, like Paul Ryan has said, like many Republicans had said, you're going to deny people health care that have it right now. And all I'm saying is, instead of fighting this like they did for the last 6 years, instead of repealing it, just say, look, let's sit down with the Democrats. Let's pick the top 5 things that are wrong with this plan that didn't work out maybe the way we thought it was going to work out. It never does once you pass legislation that hits the ground. And let's fix those 5 things. But it's now a political football again, and I think that's the wrong approach. Just sit down and fix it. You don't need to repeal the whole thing, because a lot of them are saying, well, I like this provision, I like that provision, we're going to keep this, keep that. The gist of it is the Republican plan from the 90s that they presented. So here we are. Let's just fix it. Let's drop the politics.
Do you think that your party has left you behind? When I look at current leadership, Nancy Pelosi, it is the old guard leadership. It's President Obama, it's Nancy Pelosi, it's Senator Schumer. That is the old guard. They've left you behind.
Well, look, I did my best to try to play a major leadership role. The party is a big party. I'm trying to redefine it in the sense that we need to talk more about economics and talk about what unites us as a party, as opposed to breaking the electorate down into who's black, who's white, who's brown, who's gay, who's straight, who's Catholic, who's Protestant, and just talk to people in that specific lane. What I'm saying is the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, and if we talk about the robust economic interests of working class people, not just white working class, but all working class people, people of color, that we can have a strong party again. And in that sense, there is a little bit of a tug of war going on here, because that's the message I'm pushing forward, and I'm not going to stop. And I may have lost the first battle, but the war's not over yet.
Can I ask you hear your opinion on the UN vote, which President Obama did not stop, which makes the settlements on the West Bank and the Israeli people living in East Jerusalem illegal residents. I take it you oppose that, do you? You oppose what President Obama did with Israel?
Yes. Yes, I opposed the president yesterday on the vote that we had in Congress. Our relationship with Israel is a very, very important relationship, and I think, you know, we need to be a part of the solution here. And I did oppose the president as a Democrat because I try to vote my conscience as I see it. And so here we are. You got to oppose him every now and again, and I did. And hopefully we can get things back on track. But I did oppose him in this regard.
And last one, real fast, Congressman. Do you oppose or support Keith Ellison to chair the DNC?
I've not picked a horse in that race. There are still other candidates jumping in. I know the South Carolina Democratic Party chair is a great leader. Ray Buckley up in New Hampshire is a great leader. And we just heard of a new young person jumping in, the mayor of South Bend, who I've been reading a lot about. I've never met, but he seems like a very, very attractive leader as well. So I hope we see what the field looks like and then make a decision. But we do have to move in a new direction as Democrats, where the main thrust of our argument to the American people is going to be, we are going to help you increase wages, secure your pensions, and make sure you have solid health care so that you and your family can have a robust life here in the United States. And that's got to be the key message for us.
Congressman Tim Ryan, thank you very much for joining us, sir. We appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.